Young Perk from Cali.
What's up, 49er faithful? It's your boy Chili Will from the 49er Street Squad as we get ready for the pre-game huddle with my special guest, Antonio Arevalo. Let's bring him on in. What's up, Antonio? Welcome back to the show, man. Great to have you, man. Hey, big game coming up tomorrow. You know, the Seahawks. Seahawks are next on the list, man. But before we get started on the Seahawks, I want to, well, first of all, welcome to the show, man. You know, a chance to, come on here and do your thing.
No, thank you, man. This has been fun, man. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back. And, these games get bigger and bigger now that, there's a playoff race involved.
Yes, there is, definitely. And, and speaking of playoffs, I mean, hey, great game last Sunday, huh? I mean, over the Vikings, wow. Man. That wasn't that pretty a little intense, wasn't it?
That was a great game. I think that, started off kind of sloppy, right? Shanahan had to have a talk with Jimmy G on the sideline early in the game. Yeah. And Jimmy responded. So, as long as it's all positive in the end, I'm all for it. But yeah, what a great game. What a great time. We were all hanging out in the club level. And as you know, I mean, the party just kept going and a lot of highlights, right. A lot of things happened. A lot of injuries. So, leading up to this game, I mean, everything's on the line, right? So it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And, it gets more exciting at the same time.
Now I got to ask you a question now. Well, what was your score prediction of that game again? Because I remember you were telling me, you were like, man, you were right on it. And I was like, well, and I was trying, because we all had our predictions in. And
yeah.
I know Nina Gold said 32. She said 32-21, but I was like, well, I think Antonio might have been a little bit close on you. I wasn't sure what. I couldn't remember. I know it was, you said 35, right?
35-14 is what I said, right? It was a little bit closer. I think it was, what was it? The total it was 36.
It was 34-26.
34-26, right.
So I think Nina Glow got us, man.
Yeah. But I knew we were going to have to put up like maybe 30, 35, right? So it had to be something like that to get it done. What a game. Deebo Samuels, we're going to miss him this week. We're going to really miss him this week, but running the ball, I think we just need to put him at running back.
Yeah, exactly. Again, another outstanding job by our boy Deebo, running with the ball and stuff. And, kind of went down a little bit later, he felt the little bit of a groin pull, I think. So that's why that one play, he said he went down. And I'm glad he did that. So I'm getting ready to cough. I've been having this cough issue because getting over a little cold,
Yeah, you get
so it's the holiday season. I'm going to apologize to everybody now if I happen to mute out for a second because I want to cough and I don't want to do it live. But anyway, he went down, because he said he felt it kind of pulling on him. So, which was a good move because, if he'd have kept going, who knows how bad it could have been,
right.
The groin. But great victory, 34-26, man. It felt like a playoff atmosphere type of game. You could tell everybody was hyping the stadium, we're in the clubhouse acting fool, and I mean, it was exciting, man. It was just really exciting. And like you said, Jimmy throws that interception, man. We got a little nervous there because we're kind of like, oh no,
you're right.
Not one of these games where we're going to give it away again. You know what I'm saying? And thank goodness, I like that you pointed out that how Kyle Shanahan, he got in Jimmy's face and told him like, hey man, that was a pretty stupid bonehead kind of throw that you threw there. I mean, the guy was covered like by 2-3 defenders, right?
Right.
And he laid into him, and personally for me, I'm glad to see Kyle Shanahan kind of get into these plays. Cause I wish he'd do that a lot more because, usually, he's behind the, he's always got the paper up, right? He's kind of always doing
it's so you can't read the lips of what exactly he's saying, right? So
he's worried about calling the next play. It's like, your boy just messed up. Why don't you go over there and let him have it a little bit, tell him, it's okay to tell him, pep him up or something, light a fire under this guy, you know what I'm saying? But he did. And Jimmy came back out, did his thing, and did a wonderful job, man. He did a wonderful job. The whole team did
he responded.
A great job. Yes, he did. He did respond. But going into this game tomorrow in Seattle, man, it's good. This is a big one. This is a real big game tomorrow against the Seahawks. How do the Niners prepare for this team, especially without Deebo Samuel and Fred Warner?
Their leaders are out, the next man up, right? So you got guys that need to step up. I think you got other leaders too. I think so. I think you now need Ayuk to have a big game. He's been flirting with 100 yards. He's getting like 87 yards in the last 3 times in the last 4 games. He's hitting 80 something receiving yards. And you got guys that are starting to show a little bit more right now. And I think Kittle's going to have a big game. And I think Elijah Mitchell had an excellent game. I watched the game again, and the way he hits the hole, the way he does not waste time turning on the jets when that hole opens. So I think you just control the clock like we've been doing. I'm loving the leadership from the coaching staff. Again, remember a couple of weeks ago we were questioning Kyle Shanahan's play calling. We're questioning our defensive coordinator. So you're seeing the coaches now settle in their play calling. When you see Shanahan go over there and have that conversation, and you see Jimmy G respond, that conversation, whatever was said, is the right thing to do, I guess, because obviously Jimmy G gets his stuff together right after that. And, I'm all for that energy. And I like that this team is responding. Like I said, they know that there's a lot on the line right now. We thought their season was going to be over. This game could put the nail in the coffin in Seattle's season right now. So let's just do it, right? We got a lot of faithful heading out to Seattle right now. I was very close to booking a flight, and I said, you know what, let me just hang tight with the family at the house. But yeah, every option to book the flight. I was looking at flights, man. They're pretty expensive. And if I went with a layover, it'd be like I'd be at 8 hours at the airport. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay back on this one. But I think that Seattle, this game is, the energy, fans don't like each other. We don't care for Seattle. So this is a perfect game. I think we're a little banged up, but let's see guys step up. Our linebacker Shahir Al-Shahir. He's balling right now. He's going to get the play. He's going to get the little microphone in his helmet to lead the defense. And I'm excited about that. Mike linebacker. So I'm excited about that. And, you still got Jimmy Ward out there. He's going to make sure people get hit. And let's talk about how they're practicing. I'm reading right now, Trey Lance is helping out as the scout, quarterback.
He being the Russell Wilson guy.
The Russell Wilson at practice. I like that. Yeah. You get him out there, you get the defensive line knowing how to pull back because Russell can run. We talk about mobile quarterbacks and they just got to stay at home. And I think they're going to do fine. It's all about our cornerbacks, and it's all about, putting pressure on Wilson and getting them to make some mistakes.
Yeah, that's it's good you bring that up, because my next question to you was the Seahawks always get, they always get up for the Niners. I mean, it's just one of those things like, we always have the Rams number, we just seem to, we get on them guys and, we beat them all the time. But the Seahawks, they always seem to have it out for us and always play good against us. I know that them coming off of the last game, it was actually Monday night, right?
Monday night
game in Washington. And, they kept the pressure on Wilson, and even though he looked pretty rusty because he's still dealing with the finger issue, some of his throws were rather really erratic, kind of high, and they were just really off, and so, but you could see where Seattle was still kind of, they were still in it at the end. I mean, they were, even though at the end, the last couple of minutes, they scored and they had the chance to get the onside kick, and they almost did after that little looper. But these guys just don't never give, they never give up. They I have yet really ever seen this team to really fold. You don't see it too often, but every time they play us, man, that team always gets up for the Niners when we come to town, and always seem to give us some problems. And and again, my question is, how do we just put these guys away? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, what is it going to take to put Seattle, like, when are we going to just give them that final big blow,
right.
We just beat you like 48-10, you know what I mean? Like, when do we finally just nightcap these guys,
I don't know if we'll get a nightcap of 48-10. I like to do the 55-10, like that 89 Super Bowl scores.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
I think that right now you got to go in and you got to run the ball and you got to get that crowd out of this game immediately.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
we start fast and then control that clock. And I think Elijah Mitchell, Wilson Jr., and I say just play sound football, mistake free. And Jimmy
Mhm.
G came out. I was watching. I'm gonna say my Mike Singletary. I had to take a look at the tape when I
Right.
got home, and Jimmy G was throwing the ball pretty high in that first quarter. He needs to just be settled down, because when he did settle down, he started making plays, right? But he needs to put the ball in the right place where our guys are going to be able to catch it. And
Yeah.
he came in a little. He was, like I said, Shanahan had to have a chat with him, but a lot of those balls were high, and he can't make mistakes like that in this game.
Yeah.
And once we start grooving, if you notice, what's been getting us going is the running game, and Debo Samuel's running the ball for 75, 80 yards. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it, but I like it. 5
Right.
touchdowns, 1,000 yards receiving. He's not going to be there this week, so now
Yeah.
you're going to need to turn it up in another way. And I think that maybe this is Kittle's game. And you got Ayuk, and you have our third receiver who was actually coming on in the last game. He had some key catches, a couple of touchdowns. He had a touchdown at the
Mhm.
corner of the end zone with his foot in bounds. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Juwan
him.
Jennings.
Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings is going to be stepping up, I hope, in this
So
game
you
too.
think he's going to be the man to step up Debo's spot?
I think so. I think he has to. I think he's going to be coming in, and I think he had a good game last week, and
Yeah.
maybe you see Jimmy G have some confidence in throwing his way, but he had some key catches. Jimmy G was throwing the ball in traffic, and
Yeah.
these guys are snatching that ball in traffic. So
Yeah.
these guys are going to be balling. You do not have to pump the Niners up for this game. They already know. Both teams don't really care for each other.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll has had the better half of us in this game, and I think we could put the nail in the coffin in the entire Pete Carroll regime with this one right now. So let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I think coming in this game, big differences from week 4, because I went back, I just had to kind of remind myself what happened, so I was checking out, some of the highlights. And, actually, at first we weren't doing too bad, but we knew it got off to a bad start because we found out that kicker Gold wasn't going to be able to play. Remember, he was practicing, I guess, and that's when his leg went out. So they were desperate for a kicker. So that's when we had Wininski, right? I think he was the one that ended up kicking the ball and missed a couple of extra points.
Right.
And Uchek was holding the ball for him, what I mean? So, things kind of out the starting gate was kind of bad. But going back here and just looking at some of the statistics of the game, total plays, we had 72. Seattle had 54. Total yards, we had 457, and they had 234. Penalties, we had 8 penalties for 78 yards, which is, well, it's not good. Yeah. But the turnovers right there, the 2 turnovers killed us, because it was right there, this side of the field, so for a game, because you think about the first half, we were holding them. I mean, it was like 7-0 for the longest, right? And then they finally scored right before the halftime because Metcalf scored.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, so here we go again, another close, crazy game.
That's another game that was hurtful in our season. We talk about 3 games that were key. There was the Green Bay game, the Arizona game, and then that Seattle game that you just think like, man, we put ourselves in a hole that we're digging ourselves out of right now. But then there's that feeling of like, this is the payback game right now. Like I said, this team is not sleeping on anybody. No matter, and I think we play better on the road, to be honest with you. So we're due for this game in Seattle. It's going to have to be the defense is going to have to step up. Guys are going to. This is where guys earn their paycheck. I like what the coaches are doing. I think that everybody's believing in the locker room, and I think that that's key. And then you have guys that are hungry. So this is if I'm a youngster coming up and I'm the next man up, this is that game that you want to ball out in. And
yeah.
I think the energy is there. It's just a matter of putting everything together and executing.
Yeah, and I think with the additions of Josh Norman playing, because he didn't play in the other game, and like I said, going back to that week 4, Trey Lance had to come in and take over for Jimmy. Remember, because Jimmy had the calf issue. So, and looking back at them highlights, man, I was kind of like, wow, Trey Lance, man, he was. I was like, now I understand why we had like 457 yards in that game.
Yeah.
He was rifling and he was throwing some good passes, But even Jimmy was doing good before that, before he went out, But yeah, so they're not going to be facing, as far as I'm concerned, they're not going to really be facing the same 49er team that they saw in week 4, And like you said, everybody has taken the leadership and the roles to step up and perform, in their positions. And I think these guys, the mindset is already there. That they know, like you said, they got to go into this game. They have to win. This is playoff time now. And we finally got to put these, put these guys away. And but again, like I said, I feel still it won't be easy because as long as
man, nothing is easy.
That house.
Yeah. Nothing is easy. We got to take one game at a time. I know you want to look to the next game, and you're like, let's just handle business right now. I mean, if the playoffs were to start today, I think we would be playing the Buccaneers, right? So you're seeing everything play out on paper. It's just a matter of when are we heating up? Are we hot right now? Were we getting healthy? We got a couple of little minor injuries. This is one of those games where we're going to have utility guys come in, and they're going to have to carry their weight. That's, I think, the fear with this one, right? You don't have Debo. Debo is a guy that was, he's the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, number 2, to me, number 1 right now. And I think now there needs to be some respect on that wide receiver position for Jimmy G. Now, maybe Shanahan dials up some plays for Lance in this game, since Debo's out, since there is that Debo threat. And let's talk about the Debo threat has not been really in the receiving game. It's been in the running game. So what does he dial up differently in this game without Debo on the sweep? And so he has some stuff that they're working on. And maybe you bring in Trey Lance on a package, here in this game. Like you said, he played on the last one. That was his first time coming in when Jimmy had that injury. And so, Jimmy's healthy right now, and I want him to do well. I want this team to do well, but there is going to be some guys, we're going to find out who they are, that are going to step up in this game with these guys injured, and I think Kittle's going to be one of them. I think Kittle has a big game in this game.
Do you think Sherfield will get a little gameplay out there this Sunday?
I think Sherfield has to get some gameplay. I think you got to get some guys in there, and it's all about the defensive scheme, offensive scheme, and how you're plugging them in to get them to be in successful situations. I think when you put guys on an island and then you start getting picked on, or you're not getting the ball to them. I think you got to get everybody involved, and the way Shanahan has been getting this offense going is if Jimmy's not getting into predicaments of throwing the ball every down, then they're handing it off to like Debo, right? You're seeing this reverse, and it's been successful. And what's crazy about it is you don't even realize that Debo hasn't been getting, like, his first catch was, I think, in the second quarter. I can't remember which quarter it was, but he finally got a catch because he was already scoring touchdowns on sweeps.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so the guy is elusive. He's not going to be there. So who's going to step up? I think this is Kittle's game. And I think this is also Ayuk's game too. I think that you're going to see, I think you could do the same thing that you were doing with Debo. You can do that with Ayuk. So that's the crazy thing too. So you're going to see this Ayuk. I'm excited to see how he does. And I'm excited to see Kittle step up and have that game this year that we've been not seeing yet. I mean, he's been doing great things in the trenches. But let's see that. Right. Let's see that 100-yard game. Let's see him break it open. And I think that there's going to be some things to watch.
So you think Shannon's going to have a little something in the mix for Kittle over the middle?
I think you got to go Kittle over the middle. I think he's going to be your check down guy. And I also think that because you got Debo out,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see Elijah Mitchell really running this ball. I mean, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
And he's running the ball like he's been in this league already. So I'm
In
really
that last
impressed with
game,
Elijah
he
Mitchell.
had the 27 carries for 133 yards.
He's a rookie, man, and he's got a pin in his finger. And I mean, he is just running the ball. He's running downhill like a bowling ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to bring that up, and that's another person that the Seattle Seahawks haven't faced. A new guy, Mitchell, here, man. And like I said, 27 carries for 133 yards. He even had 5 catches for 35. So, here, like you say, you're talking about how Debo brings so much to the table now with his running and catching ability, wide receiver now / running back. Now look at, Mitchell. I mean, this guy, obviously running back is his forte, but now he can go out there and catch balls too. So, almost 2 like lethal weapons right there. You know what I'm saying? I think that maybe I agree. I think Kittle, it would be great to see him get more involved in the passing game on the offense. But I think I also would like to see you check out there. I would like to see some more good, some more good plays with you check in there. You know what I mean? Because they, not as I think in excuse me, contact these guys with so many players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have so many players to utilize, in the offense and just be really effective that way.
Juice is such a key player as a lead blocker. I mean, when you look at his highlights, and that's a big reason why Elijah Mitchell's having a great season. I mean, you look at who he takes out on a lot of those plays as the lead blocker, and he's taking out key linebackers, and he just knows his assignments as a blocker, and it's very humble to see how he plays. And then when he does get a bone every now and then on a pass, he's got hands, right? So you gotta, I think you gotta keep him in the flat when Jimmy's in trouble. You got to have a guy that you can dump the ball off to if as a check down. And I think Juice, maybe Kyle dials up some of that. But right now, if you look at playing safe and sound football and not doing too many cute things, you got to look at this offensive line and how they're blocking downhill in the run. And if a team is not able to stop the run, then keep running the same play. It used to be like, run it again. And if, they can't stop it. We're going to do this all day. And then that defense just gets tired out. And so then you go on the third down or you go on a passing play and the cornerbacks have been sleeping all day because they expect run. So now you open up the pass because the run is working. And so we have that option too, right? So it just depends on what works. Now, what is key in this game is Seattle is a very loud stadium. We know this. We know how the crowd can be. We need to control the clock, which keeps the crowd out of the game. And I think if we continue to do that, keep Russell Wilson off the field and make sure that they're one-dimensional again. Russell with his feet, he can do so much, but once we take away their run game and once they're down, I think we can win this game. And I think guys can then start playing a little loose on the cornerback side. And then you got He-Man on the edge, Bosa, he's having the season of his career.
That photo you said, man.
So I want to do a graphic of him as He-Man on the edge. That's coming. I'll do something dope for 49ers Street Squad with the He-Man jersey.
That'd be awesome.
Bosa jersey on He-Man. Because he's just a beast right now. And
isn't he, man? 11 sacks already on the season.
11
rookie year, he had 10, right?
Yeah. And the man gets hurt and he gets up and shakes it off. And I'm like, this guy is. I mean, he's the best player we've drafted in a long time to me right now, in the leadership he has. Remember, he was injured all last year. They were talking about how he went and did his rehab for his knee and then just wanted to drop some weight and wanted to be in great shape for this. And, I thought D Ford, last week, they said D Ford was scratched. So, we don't know when D Ford is coming back, but, we talked about getting Dre Greenlaw back and the fear of re-injury. Dre had a little strain again, and so So he's looking like, I don't know, it's not too serious, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. You have Warner out 1 or 2 weeks, and then they're talking about Debo maybe 1 week, right? So who knows? But these guys are pumped up for this game. I don't know who ends up playing. I'm just reading right now that George Kittle wouldn't be surprised if Fred Warner plays on Sunday. So, I want chill, Fred, but we need you. But take it easy. I can't have Fred out 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know, because when watching Fred on the sideline from that game, I mean, they showed him kind of walking off. It didn't look like he was in that bad severe pain for a hamstring, hammy. Yeah. So I who knows, like you said, depends how severe it really is, but if it's not too bad, if it's something he thinks he can come back for. But I'm with you. I mean, no need to rush him back if he's, not 100%. I'd rather have him back for, rest of the games and just kind of rest that leg a little bit, but right. Outside, like you said in the beginning, outside here, man, he's been on fire hot, and he's making great plays. Had the interception in the game last week, and just making great plays all over the field, man. This guy is has blossomed in just to this great, powerful linebacker. I think most of us know, and kind of knew Al-Shaair was, headed on that course, because he played so well last couple of years, right alongside of Warner and Greenlaw.
Yep.
Hopefully Greenlaw is back. I heard that D Ford was going to be available for this game, so unless something changes again, I mean, I know the baby in him, which I understand, and I think with the guys that they have now, the one player that popped off to me from the last week's game was defensive end Charles Montague. Man, man, if you go back and watch the tape, man, you see how fast this guy was explosive getting off the ball.
Like a cannon.
Did you watch? I was like,
he was there right when the running back got the ball. You know what I mean? Like he was already there. So.
And I'm like, man, if this guy is shooting out a cannon I mean, it's just, he just still got to develop a little bit, because it's new defense, everything he's learning, but once man, can you imagine once that guy really gets zeroed in, man?
Right. That's the thing about defensive line. The thing about defensive line, they're not really needing to worry about, coverage or anything like that, but it's following the ball, staying in your lane, not jumping the gun on a sweep and a fake sweep. Guys need to stay in there, and if they are, blitzing in a gap, making sure that they're doing their assignments. But I think that, once you just play this game and guys are vibing like that, and you got leaders on defense, guys are ready. They're smelling blood in the water. It's like a shark. Everybody wants to have a good play. And he's showing up right now. And like I said, I'm like, you're starting to see the depth chart on this team and on this run right now. So you get these guys with the playing time, and they stay fresh, and then you get our starters back, and you just hope that it all comes together and we start heating up right around that right time. And that's what it's looking now. I got a little nervous on this last game with the injuries, and then, we sit back during the week and we identify how serious things are. We got lucky. I think we got lucky. Nothing is really serious. But, you want these guys we have a two-game road stand right now. So we go to Seattle, then we go to Cincinnati, and then we come back home against Atlanta. This 2-game road stand is going to be very important in our season. And I think, you got the Rams sliding a little bit. You got teams in the NFC West. We're not looking like too far behind if these guys keep sliding out. So, the Niners are heating up at the right time, and this game is so important on keeping that momentum of our season, because we talk about that 88 year 10-6 to get in. And, you got Debo doing little highlights saying he thinks we're going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, the guy's pumping me up right now. So, I'm trying to take it one game at a time. And
exactly. Same here. Yeah. Like you said, that, you could just tell that the team is just coming together at the right time. And so far, thank goodness. We got a little bit of injuries, but we're not at a place where, we've got too many key people out, luckily, most of these injuries, like you said, are just little owies, so they'll be back, maybe they got to take a game off or whatever. So Yeah, that's something we've been, I think, as 49er faithful fans, we've been, wishing for, ever since last season, considering all the injuries we've had to deal with, and
Right.
and go through. And lucky we're sitting at a good spot right now because, like you said, a lot of key players, man, are coming back right at the right time for this playoff run. And, we have to win the rest of our games, but yeah, one game at a time. I'm the same way. I'm kind of like, okay, we took care of business with the Vikings. Now we got to go to Seattle. And we all know Seattle's no joke. No matter, I don't care about the record. I mean, they could be 0-10 or whatever right now. This is still a team that always,
there's
there's. Did I freeze up?
There you go. You're back.
Okay. No, anyway. Yeah, this Wi-Fi, man. Hopefully everything looks good on my end. But anyway, yeah, this is just a team that scares me. Like I said, Russell Wilson, you got to give the guy credit for all that he's done, and Seattle's only where they are because of him. But they still got a good defense. I mean, you got what's my man, the linebacker back there in defense.
They picked up. They picked up. Who?
Oh, they picked up. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. What's up with this? They picked up homeboy, the running back. Man, I had it too. What? Right now. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Homeboy, yeah. Roberts, not Roberts. Man, it'll probably come up on. Yeah, it'll probably come up. But yeah, look on Niner News. It's on there. But they just picked him up, and it's funny that 2 years ago, right? They did the same situation where they knew Niners were coming in their house, and who they signed at that time, was Beast Mode.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you think Beast Mode's gonna get you? You know what I mean? So that's what even made it more of a, the way, of course, the way it ended and everything. It was just great, And
they signed Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, there you go.
Yeah, the legend.
God.
But bring him out. Let's see what he got.
Yeah. Please.
I'm so ready to stop the run on these guys. The only guy that really always scares me is Russell Wilson. And, he's got a bad throwing hand. So, his legs are going to be fine, but let's see what he can do. I think that, you put a few hits on him and he's going to have to, think about running on, he's a little hurt right now. So I don't know how bad that hand is. I know he's had surgery on it, and, it's his throwing hand, right? Is it his throwing hand?
Yeah, I do believe it's throwing index finger.
Yes.
That's
an important finger to have on the zip of that ball, right? I mean, so you need to see what he can really, really do. And I think adding that pressure, he's not going to feel too confident on doing some of the throws he's gotten on us in the past. So I'm happy with that. And I know that Bosa is going to have another big game. I know that if I'm Russell Wilson and I got a hurt index finger, I'm looking at the line, where is Bosa every play? And, run everything the other way. But, their wide receivers have always done well on us. And I think that.
Yeah, Metcalf and Lockett, man. Oh.
Yeah, we just gotta tighten up right there. And, Emmanuel Mosley is having one of his best seasons right now. So this is just this is going to be such a great matchup. There's so much on the line. You look at these matchups. I think guys are ready to show. They're ready to get this paycheck. They're ready to get their extensions. And Mosley's balling right now. So I feel good. I always worry about the crowd noise. I always worry about that stuff. But I just think that if we continue to handle business. Now, when I look at Shanahan and what play calling he's going to do, I think he's going to keep everything the same. But I do think because we have, like I said, because we have Debo out, I think this is where you maybe plug in Trey Lance on a couple of plays. I think this is where you have a Trey Lance package in goal line again. We know it'll be a rollout,
nice.
Right? But I think to just add that running element that Debo gave us, right? So you have some talent. Are you going to use it? And how are you going to use it? And are you going to use it carefully? And that's what I'm excited to see. But let's keep an eye on it because Shanahan's been kind of quiet with adding Lance on any plays lately ever since he's been back from that injury.
That's true, huh? Yeah, I actually thought that was going to happen. I thought actually Trey Lance, even in the Minnesota game at certain times, I thought he would have Trey Lance come out there on certain packages, especially if it was close to the goal line and stuff. But like you said, since the injury, he's been keeping it pretty close to the hip with Trey Lance. He hasn't really put him out there, but you can't help but wonder what's up his sleeve, because you just can't but help feel that Kyle might have him kind of sitting off here in the corner right now, but don't forget about Trey Lance, because he's saying, like, you know what, you may think like, yeah, he's kind of been off on the sidelines for a while, not doing much, but you never know when he's going to be brought in to step up and for that big score. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if not this game. I'm sure maybe games to come. I don't know, depending who they face. As far as defenses and stuff like that. Right. But what he's going to do with Trey Lance. But yeah, you want to keep him healthy. You don't really want to risk him to any injury, because just in case.
Trey's mom must be calling Kyle like, "Hey, don't run my son 16 times between the tackles." She had her hands like this.
Well, wasn't that funny? I mean, I felt so bad for her, man, because that's sort of like how my wife Gloria would be like, oh my, that was my son out there. I probably would be a little nervous too. I'd be like, oh man,
I watched that game.
My boy. Yeah.
I was nervous. I was nervous watching that game. I'm like, man, this kid is doing a lot right now. But you see the talent, right? You see how talented he is, and so you just don't. When do you use that? When does it help our season to play like that? And Jimmy's healthy. You need Trey to stay healthy. So I think that this, if I'm just putting my coaching hat on, I would say, because Debo's out and a lot of Debo's play calling has been runs lately, I think that you then go and add Trey in a package. And you might have that, he writes 25 plays on that little cardboard he reads. And I'm sure there should be some Trey Lance plays in there. And I think this is the week that you go, hey, man, hey, kid, you're fresh. It's 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 2. Let's put Trey in, and you got one guy. Maybe you set him up with one receiver to look at. If it's not their run, we'll see what happens.
Oh, I think you froze up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're right. I think also if the Niners were to perhaps get a fresh start, a good lead on this team, hopefully to the point where maybe second half, wherever they could put maybe Trey Lance in, maybe on if the opportunity is there, maybe get him out there to do, little hocus pocus move or some offense. I don't know, Kyle got something up his sleeve, but it would be great for the experience. But I really think though, Kyle most likely is going to stick with, Jimmy, as long as he's playing well and doing his thing, he's got to be locked in and just really do it. But I agree with you. They just need to stay on that same path and just stick with the running the ball. On this defense, because they rank really low against the rush anyway. Mm-hmm. Stick with the run. Eli Mitchell, this guy's on fire. This is rookie man. It's crazy. And
he's got almost 700 yards. There's a lot of football left. I mean, he's like
second to like the best runner I think in the NFL. I can't remember. I saw the name, but and on top of that, he's only like a few yards behind. Cowboys, Elliott, what's his name?
The
Ewok. 3 games. Yeah. The Ewok. Oh my goodness. But so I mean, that says a lot though. He missed 3 games. He's kind of tailing this dude, So man, I mean, and I think maybe also from what I heard anyway, Jermichael Hasty, there's a chance he might be back, so I don't know. Man, I mean, think about it. That's kind of scary, man. I mean, just let's go advance for a minute to next year. You're talking about having Mitchell, and then and our guy
Wilson Jr. and
Mostarati. Oh my goodness, man. I mean that's got to be scary. You're talking about just pounding that ball, running. You know what I mean? And according to what George Kittle said in the locker room when coach asked him, he said, I just like to get back to running the ball, 30, 40 some plays a game. All the fellas were like, hell yeah. Like, okay, let's do it, what they built for. They built for the run, you know what I mean? So
you get to hit someone every play, right?
Yeah, and that's what George Kittle loves, he loves
you get to hit somebody.
Yeah, so
That's old school football. If
yes,
you're
it
not
is.
if you're not hitting somebody on every play, then you're not playing. You got to
Exactly.
if you want to be effective in football, the mentality is put a helmet on somebody every play. And
Yep.
look at the way that we controlled the clock. I mean, this game was close, right? We're talking the Minnesota
Exactly.
game, and we go and
Yeah.
have one of those drives again that just take the life out of the Vikings. I think that
Exactly.
that's 2 games in a row we've had some tremendous drives. And when you control that clock, it throws the momentum off on whoever we're playing against offense, because they start getting cold on that bench, and it
Yes.
also helps our defense. So I think that that's just the recipe right now. The other thing that I would say that is awesome is, Wilson Jr. has this game 2 games ago when Elijah Mitchell was out, and you're like, what a great game by Wilson Jr. And then, Kyle kind of like, plays him only on a few plays, but it's Elijah's game, right? So you're like,
Oh
you
yeah,
got a
he's hot,
fresh,
man.
you got a fresh Wilson Jr. coming into this game too. So you just don't know how he always calls the plays and who gets the hot hand. Who was it? Elijah Mitchell gets us down there on the goal line, and they give it over to Debo. So then, he goes back and gets Elijah Mitchell his play call, because
Yeah.
he's just being a teammate, but as a running back, I played running back in school. You're like, that was my touchdown. I
Right.
took us
Yeah.
down here, right? Give
Exactly.
him the ball, So these guys they're sharing right now, and I like that. So, but
Yeah.
this kid Elijah Mitchell is for a rookie, and how he hits the hole, I always like to look like he turns on the jets, and he gets you 5-6 yards, and he breaks that tackle. He makes that first guy miss.
Yes, he
And
does.
Hasty is very, he can juke and maneuver, but he's so little sometimes. That first guy, he can't really break that tackle. But
Right.
Mitchell is amazing, and I think that you just keep going that route, and this kid's gonna have 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what a just awesome. I mean, for a number 6 pick, man, to get this
6th
guy.
round, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, like from the beginning in the first game he played, I mean, this guy was like, everybody was like, I had to look up a couple of times on the roster to make sure who was I looking at. I was like, who's this guy?
Right.
Mitchell, Elijah Mitchell. I was like, wait a minute, we drafted him. And, oh yeah, they drafted him. That was the second guy they drafted. What a great pick, man! This kid is exciting. I just can't. I mean, for even far as the rest of the season right now, just how electric he's going to be just for this team as we continue this playoff run and make our way to the playoffs and hopefully the Super Bowl, man. And I just have a feeling that things are just gonna, like I say, it's just gonna come together at the right time. And I think the schedule favors these guys right now, which is really awesome, and they can do it. Still, let's get past Seattle first. I don't want to jump the gun, but a couple more other teams that are doing well. I think they're going to face like the Bengals and I
Bengals
think
are playing good
Tennessee.
too.
I think they're
Tennessee,
like first place in the division, and Tennessee's doing, even though they don't. Thank goodness they don't have Henry. I think he's out
right.
for the rest of
How
the
long
season.
is he out for the rest of the season? Is it, man? That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Teams, we look down the road, and then all of a sudden teams are hot when we end up playing them, or they're cold. You just don't know. I mean, look what we did to the Rams. We beat the Rams, and the Rams have been on a terrible streak since. It's maybe we
Yeah.
gave people the playbook on how to prepare for them. But I have no I have no hate towards that. Keep losing
Yeah.
Rams, because and then you have Arizona that's having a great season. So we still have work to do, but the
Oh
NFC
yeah.
West is not a joke. The NFC West is one of your toughest divisions in the NFL. We had a slow start. We had some heartbreaking losses. We had games that could go either way versus AZ versus Seattle.
Yeah.
And you just look at this season, it's still a long season. We got an extra game too. So,
Yep.
and we end it against the Rams in LA. We'll be at that one. And,
Yeah.
it's just coming down to the wire. And then this playoff, this wild card race is going to be a trip, because no matter what, we could do all this right now, squeak in with a wild card race, and we'll have to play the first or second seed. you know,
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
playoffs regardless. So we have this mentality of it doesn't matter who we play. We just gotta do the fundamentals to win the game and to play smart football. Keep the ball in our hands, no turnovers, play smart, and call. You know, our coaching staff has to call a great game and make those adjustments when needed. You know, halftime adjustments, game time adjustments, anything that they're seeing, they need to communicate and continue to do that. We're doing that right now.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, like none of these teams in the NFC right now really like looking at them. I know we can go down and battle even with Arizona. I mean, they don't scare me. I mean, obviously they are the team. Don't get me wrong, and then the record speaks for itself. But man, I think the Niners can go in there and get their behinds because like I said, as long as where we're at right now, focus and with our players coming back, I mean, I know we can give them a run for the money. So, like you said, the West is tough, and then but I think a lot of these teams in the whole, as far as the NFC side, anyway, there's nobody that's really, getting me too terrified or anything. I think everybody's pretty. You got a good bunch of teams that are just playing good right now. 6, 7 teams. And the rest of them, but some of them are in the mix. I mean, you just never know. When it's going to come together for any team. And just catch fire and just take off. So I just hope that's us. So like you said, hey, the faithful heading out to Seattle, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of faithful tomorrow's game. Should hopefully see a lot of red jerseys. But real quick, I was going to post a couple of things just so anybody watching right now, if you want to know where to go, they're going Seattle faithful is going to be there. They're going to be at the team airport, beat the 49ers when they come in at 3:45 p.m. on Saturday later today, and that at SeaTac Airport. So they always do a great job because they always got the parade. They always got their signs out there. Hooper and hollering, welcoming our boys. So I know they love it. And then you got later on tonight, they're gonna have the meet and greet at 6 p.m. It's gonna be at Kel's Irish Pub. And then on Sunday, you got they got the pregame and a march to the game, and they're gonna be at the X Stadium. Which I do believe is just a couple of blocks down the street from the stadium. So they're going to parade down there. So if anybody's going to be there, checking them out, make sure you get some good footage. Cause I always like to see the faithful, take over.
I've done that walk from the bar. You warm up, they don't really have tailgating over there. So you got all these bars, and then you just get all your buddies and you go, come on, let's go. And you do this walk and everybody's yelling at you and you come in all Niner deep. And so we need the faithful to be loud. We need everybody. Shout out to my boy Joe Y. Shout out to Jerry out in Vegas. Mariano, they're going to be out there.
Joe, he posted.
Yeah, there he is. Right there, Joe. He's out
in front of the stadium with the 4-way, baby.
Yeah. He's already out there. He jumps early. He gets out there early, and I got my boy Jerry Mariano from Vegas out there. He tried to recruit me. I was very close to coming, Jerry. But I roll with them.
Man, we need you, man. MC. It was MC right here. Come on, we need you, boy. We need you out there dripping, baby. Come on.
When I roll with Jerry, we end up finding the best nightclub the night before the game, and
right.
Where's the DJ? Where's the bottle service?
Right. So exactly.
We have a good time with those guys. We did that in Chicago, and it, I got a little bit of FOMO. I'm not gonna lie. I have some FOMO, but we're gonna be out all together in LA. We're gonna see each other in a couple of weeks, and I'm just happy that the faithful is gonna be out there, especially some of my key buddies, because it just makes I look for them on TV all the time. When you start seeing everybody when they show it. So
and don't you get mad when you see them all like, oh, I should be there with them, you know what I mean? I should be hanging with the boys,
Yeah.
Oh man,
right,
I know like you said, the FOMO hits you, man. It's like,
The wifey was like, go ahead, and I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. And then these flights were crazy. I think if I picked one with a layover, it was like I'd be at the airport for 8 hours. And I was like, man, I'm going to sit out. I've been, we all have things we got to do, but it's, very tempting.
It's always a little hard, especially this time for me, because, it's me and my wife's anniversary,
Happy anniversary. Congrats.
Yeah. We're celebrating 24 years marriage, and it's always been beautiful. It's been great, and I'm blessed to have her in my life. And she's a big time 49er faithful fan. It makes it even more
Happy
happy and
anniversary.
spicy. Right? Yeah. So, but you know what? Yeah, I was thinking about going to the game too, because some of my nephews were, they were talking about it, and at first, and Gloria was the same way. She was like, you can go and stuff, and
You
I
can
kind of like,
go.
no, it was cool. I was like,
Sounds good.
okay. I said, let me think about it. Because this was a few weeks ago, so I kind of wanted to see where our boys were going to be at. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really. I just kind of like said I just wait, but then my nephew calls. He's like, man, you going still? I'm like, nah, I think I'll make the trip. Cause like you said, I don't want to pay all that money for the flights up there.
The airfare was crazy.
Yeah, it was
The
very
airfare
expensive.
was crazy. I was like, we could just go to Vegas, me and the missus, for the same price of the airfare for Seattle. I was like,
exactly.
But for two.
Yeah, and I mean, man, I want to go. I mean, there's going to be that. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully next year, if everything's right. I definitely want to make it to Seattle, because I've been wanting to go for. I actually wanted to go to the game on, in 2019, the Super Bowl run. That one, we played them. And came to win that game. Like that close on the end zone, and stopping them guys. And that game I was planning on going to, but I don't know why I didn't get there. But
the green
that
law
was the one I
stop.
wanted to go. Yeah, the green law stop, boy, and I mean, I was like, that was a nerve-wracking game, but thank goodness
I was there for the
we
championship game. I went for the championship game, and I will tell you guys, and
that's
all
not the
the
one
people
Sherman was
watching.
talking smack to.
He was to Sherman and Crabtree, right. So I was at that game, and I will tell you this: I've traveled to several cities. That was a hostile weekend in Seattle. And I'm telling you right now, I'll tell you a quick story. We went to a couple of nightclubs, and I remember me and the guys were wearing all red. And so I remember we're in line.
You're getting a stare already. Like,
oh, no, we were coming in deep, but there was, excuse me, sir, I just give you a heads up. This is a Seahawk bar. And I'm like, who are they? And we go in there, people were throwing beers and everything. The minute we walk in, security. So security goes, what the heck's going on? And there's people, like, you have to go up like this stairway to get up there, and there's a ledge, and people are just screaming over the ledge, and some random person falls over the ledge. No one touched him. We don't even know why he fell. It was wild. And that was my first time in Seattle. So everybody was getting removed. And I was like, the Niners are here. The Niners are here. That's
right, baby.
And so we were pumped up. But I will tell you, that was a hostile weekend. And I think things have calmed down since. And
the 12s have nothing to cheer about anymore, because the boys been crappy the last few years.
Right. But that time, we hated each other.
Oh yeah, it was on. Man, the hatred was on strong. Especially all the things they were doing to us, and we trying to do to them, and them find that. Remember the stupid plane, I think, over Candlestick and 12. It was getting ridiculous, man. But it's still heated. It's still heated. But ain't what it once really was anymore, because they just now that they've been kind of going down the tubes a little bit, and not been the same team. But yeah, man. Hey. It's it's a beautiful city. Got to get there one of these days, and probably maybe next season for sure. We'll get on out there. But we're excited for the game tomorrow. 49ers should be ready to do their thing, man. I hope we smoke them, man. I just hope we smoke them. I mean, I think we should be able to go up in there and, like you said, just silence that crowd, get them out of it first, and then start working on these guys, and just play by play. Have the 49ers, take this win, man. We need this W. It's a division game, divisional opponent, and we got to come away with the W. So Antonio, I want to thank you, sir. Once again, it's been an awesome pleasure to have you on, man. It's always, I always get so excited. I know I'm getting ready to talk to Antonio, man, talk to football, because, man, you just have a great way of putting things out there, and just making things electric, bro. So I really appreciate your time. Taking away from the family and everything, and being on with me and stuff. So
happy anniversary to you and Niner Glow. Congratulations. And and to many more as well, guys. Enjoy it. I mean, look, we got something to play for. We weren't talking like this a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, we were partying last game too. That was a fun time. That was a fun time. You should have told me it was your anniversary then. I mean, we would have took it up a few more notches.
I know. Well, don't worry, we still got time. So you know what I'm saying? We can always make up for that. You know that, man.
Absolutely.
But you're right. It was like playoff atmosphere, and it was electric, man. I'm telling you, man, it's something brewing, something great is happening right before our eyes, and it's like, you feel it through the faithful, you feel it through the team, all the way down through the organization. I mean, that we feel. I feel that's something great happening, So, but I can contain it, like you said, one game at a time. Let's take care of business. Let's just keep taking care of business every Sunday, and until the time comes and we're in the playoffs, then now it's going to be on like fire, right? I mean, it's going to be on like fire. But
that's the game, Chili Will. We might have to travel on. We might be road warriors on this. So you might need to save your hall pass for the playoffs right now.
Exactly.
We might have to go on that Navy SEAL trip.
Right. Well, trust me, Nana Gold will be right along because you're going to be just as excited with me, and she's going to be ready to party and throw down with the rest of the faithful because, man,
the missus is the same way. She's not missing the play. She's not missing the playoff. She's like, you think this is crazy?
She's down 49 faithful fan. She's gonna be there. She's gonna be in the mix, man. She's gonna be out there having a good time. That's what I'm saying. We just love being around the faithful and this party and having a great time. Meeting wonderful people like yourself and all other faithful out there, man. It's been awesome, man.
It's been great rolling with you guys too, and just sitting at the games together and shooting. All this information and perspective. And I think it makes it great for the show. So thank you for having me. You guys have been awesome, man. And, let's keep doing it.
Definitely. Most definitely. Well, again, thank you to Antonio Arevalo for being on the 49 pregame huddle, dropping some knowledge, kicking some great information. And so great to have you, man. So, man, much love. And let's get this win. Let's get this win tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. Happy anniversary.
All right. Thank you. Again, I want to thank my guest, Antonio Arevalo, being on the show with me on the 49 Street Squad. It's always great to have him on, talk 49 football. Guys, let's just get this victory tomorrow because we need this win, man. We need this W, man. This is a divisional opponent, and we got to walk away with the W tomorrow. And I know we're going to do it because I know the Fable's going to be there shouting out loud, partying. We're gonna let this Seattle fans have it up there, man. We're going to let them have it. But, hey, guys, stay 49er strong, and remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Your boy Chili Will, I'm out.